Apple and Hermès, two of my favorite brands from two distinctly different worlds that, in my life, collide in so many ways, a category I like to call luxury tech. This year, the two celebrate 10 years of working together on Apple Watch. And as I'm in a celebratory mood after picking up my own 10th anniversary Apple Watch Hermès, I figured why not, before we unbox and set it up, take a trip down memory lane. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, your gadget matchmaker, and over the last decade, I've made it my job to show people around the world that tech can be easy, fun, and exciting. On this channel, I give you special access to the gadgets I review, the places I go, the things that bring me joy, and all the interesting people I get to meet along the way. So if this is the kind of content that you want to see, give this channel a like and subscribe, and I'll help you find the right gadget to match your needs. This is a decade of Apple Watch Hermès and the 10th anniversary Apple Watch Hermès unboxing. Later on in this video, I'll be unboxing the new Apple Watch Hermès, but first, let's go back in time to a decade ago. The year was 2015 when Apple announced its partnership with Hermès alongside the second Apple Watch. Apple's Johnny Ive was quoted as saying, "Apple and Hermès make very different products, but they both reflect the deep appreciation of quality design." While Pierre-Alexis Dumas of Hermès called it the establishment of an alliance in excellence. Like horse and carriage, a perfect team. The first Apple Watch Hermès featured a polished stainless steel finish and came with 3 leather band options: single tour, double tour, and a cuff, all in Barenia leather in the color fauve. In the Hermès world, Barenia is actually a heritage leather, a much sought after leather because it patinas over time. Because of this, Kellys and Birkins and Barenia are much more rare. There was also a noir strap in shiny box leather and swift leather bands in blue jean, capucine, and etan, all popular Hermès colors. The buckles of the straps were all reminiscent of those seen on Hermès's own Cape Cod watch. Of particular interest to me was the double tour strap. Fun fact, it was actually introduced in 1997 by Martin Margiela. Yep, that Margiela. When he was creative director for Hermès. This strap wraps around the wrist twice and was actually inspired by a belt he designed for his own label way back in the 80s. Apple Watch Hermès came with an exclusive watch face, meaning you couldn't get it if you owned a regular Apple Watch. The watch face featured 3 different typeface designs inspired by the Clipper, Cape Cod, and Escape Hermès watches. The Hermès Apple Watch also has the Hermès logo engraved underneath. The original Apple Watch Hermès started at $1,100, about double the cost of the regular stainless steel Apple Watch. While there was definitely a premium paid for brand name and exclusivity, it also took into account the quality of Hermès leathers and craftsmanship. And in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't so pricey because that same year, Apple also released an 18-karat gold Apple Watch edition, which started at a whopping $10,000. Here's another fun fact. The original Apple Watch actually came in a square box, and like the ones today, resembled Hermès packaging. In 2016, Apple Watch Series 2 made its debut, and the Hermès partnership continued. A double buckle cuff was introduced. This one you see here is in a classic Hermès color, taupe. They also released a single tour strap in Barenia leather with a hidden deployment buckle. This year also marked the first time that you could buy an Hermès Apple Watch separately, opening the door for collectors. Priced at $339 and $489 respectively for the single tour and double tour bands, and $689 for the double buckle cuff, they cost almost as much as an Apple Watch. This was also the first time the watch came bundled with an exclusive sports band in signature Hermès orange. The only way you could get a band in this color was to buy an Apple Watch Hermès. And if ever you find one, flip it around and you'll find the Hermès codicil on the reversed side. Cellular made its debut on Apple Watch Series 3. In 2017, 3 bands were announced. The single tour Rahli was made of gala caskin and featured punch holes inspired by Hermès driving gloves. The single tour Éperon d'Or, also in gala caskin, was the first strap to feature a print inspired by a scarf design of the same name. Hermès still references scarf designs till today, and while many designs change over the years, many classics like this one from 1974 stay in the collection. But my favorite band of 2017 was called Médor. Crafted from swift leather in the color noir, it had a pyramid-shaped stud on it. The Médor stud was first seen on a dog collar commissioned by a private client in the 1930s, and eventually inspired the collier de chêne women's belt. Today, you can find it on jewelry and bracelets like the one I have on right here. A new Carrick font was also added to the Hermès watch face. Series 4 made its debut with a bigger display and a built-in ECG. New color-blocked double tour bands with 3 color combos were introduced, as well as the ability to pick 2 watch face colors that shifted with the movement of the minute hand. This was the year that packaging changed to the bar shape that we know and love today. It's now 2019, and Series 5 brings the always-on display to Apple Watch. A second Apple Watch Hermès color option was added for the first time. Apart from the usual stainless steel, Apple also announced the Space Black model, which shipped with either a noir single tour or double tour band. These bands had buckles which were also black, a possible nod to the So Black Birkin, which also came with all black hardware. The packaging for this watch was also black, and instead of the Hermès orange sport band, it came with a black sport band. There was also an updated color-blocked band with a print inspired by the Deva Cavalleria scarf. Who can forget 2020? Apple Watch Series 6 was announced at a separate event from the iPhone launch and included a blood oxygen sensor. Stainless steel and space black returned as case options, alongside a new attelage band. Attelage refers to a distinctive lug located on the top strap. Notice the prominent loop that was meant to resemble the loop on a horse harness. Double versions also featured a more dainty, slimmer strap. 2020 saw the addition of a proper second Hermès watch face called Circulaire that let you add shortcuts to 5 custom complications. Series 7 brought even larger displays to Apple Watch and faster charging. 2 new watch bands were introduced, Circuit H Single Tour and a matching Circuit H watch face. Both were references to the way the signature Chandian anchor chain is sometimes made to resemble lanes on a race course. There was also the Gourmet Double Tour, made to look like jewelry links, but crafted out of Fauve Party leather. Series 8 brought a temperature sensor and crash detection. This was the year I bought my first Apple Watch Hermès because I really wanted that new Gourmet Metal Double Tour band, which featured both leather and a stainless steel chain. I loved that this band looked like a piece of jewelry. There was also the H diagonal band with micro perforations forming an H pattern. For a 4th year in a row, a new watch face was released called Lucky Horse, Hermès watch face that wasn't too serious, more like a cheeky nod to the company's equestrian roots. Series 9 was a big year for Apple's carbon neutral push and their 2030 goals. This year, Apple dropped leather from all of its products, which meant they stopped selling leather iPhone cases, among other leather accessories. That also meant that Apple would no longer sell leather Hermès watch bands. Instead, 4 new bands were released featuring textiles and rubber. Toile H and Twill Jump were made out of canvas. Bridon was hand-braided textile in a bold chevron pattern, and Kilin was made of molded rubber with a deployment buckle. That year, I panicked, and I distinctly remember after the keynote, getting back to my hotel, I went straight to Hermès.com and ordered a bunch of leather bands, only to realize that Hermès was still going to sell them. It just wouldn't be available through Apple. In fact, that year, Hermès launched a leather strap with the Clou de Sel stamp on it, translated as saddle nail. It's an iconic design element that you'll see a lot in bags and buttons on garments, as well as some jewelry. This year's Hermès watch face was called Radial, inspired by the Cape Cod watch with bold numerals that highlight the hour. Series 10 featured an even thinner case and a slightly larger display. Apple Watch Hermès switched from a stainless steel case to a lighter and more durable polished titanium in only one color, silver titanium. And getting an Hermès Apple Watch is the only way to get this silvery color, as non-Hermès Apple titanium watches are available in gold titanium, natural titanium, and black titanium. 2 additional knit bands were introduced: Tortoisade, a cable knit style band inspired by nautical chains, really lovely in its double-tour form, and a slim attelage version of the Twill Jump. But most notable was Grand H, the first ever all-metal Apple Watch Hermès band, which featured a stainless steel link bracelet with H details and a double butterfly closure. It's still my favorite band to date, and when it first launched, it was actually pretty difficult to come by. For me, it was love at first sight since I tried it on at the launch event in Cupertino, so I decided this would be the year that I'd upgrade my Apple Watch Hermès. 2024 was also the year that Apple gave the Apple Watch Ultra the Hermès treatment. It came with the new En Mer band, which is a high-density 3D knit with a titanium buckle designed for water sports, and a matching Hermès maritime digital watch face. A fun feature is that when you press the action button, it would activate sailing-inspired regatta countdown timer. Finally, we're here in 2025, and Apple Watch Series 11 and Apple Watch Ultra 3 both get Hermès editions. Let's unbox the new 10th anniversary Apple Watch Hermès. And because I picked it up at the Hermès boutique, it comes wrapped with a ribbon. Pull to unwrap. This big box actually contains 2 boxes. Just slide them out like so. You have the strap and the Apple Watch. Let's start with the watch. Pull on this tab, and here, flip it back around and lift. Inside, you get a welcome packet that says designed by Apple in California and Hermès in Paris. Let's pull this out. Some paperwork. And inside here is your sport band in signature Hermès orange. Also inside the box, Apple Watch charger with a braided cable. And last but not the least, slide this out. This is the Apple Watch. And when you flip it around, there is the Hermès logo. Next up, let's take a look at the Faubourg Party strap. Okay, let's open it up. Say what you want about the price tag, but this unboxing experience is pretty luxe. Inside this felt sleeve is the strap in 2 shades of blue, with the lighter blue representing the building, and you'll see some of those windows of the Faubourg store. This anniversary band is called Faubourg Party. It's in one of my favorite Hermès blues, Bleu Nuit, and features a jacquard knit with an illustration of the famed flagship store Faubourg Saint-Honoré in Paris. It's accompanied by a matching watch face with 24 whimsical animations like a sleepwalking horse, a bison riding on a toothbrush, and a party at the Hermès store. Both the strap and the watch face are designed by Tibor Karpati, whose pixel art designs have also featured on an Hermès silk scarf and ashtray. Next up, let's take a look at the Grand H fond band, which is a slimmer version of this band. Lift, and let's lift this up from the box. Inside, you'll find the band. It's so lovely. We can take it out. Compare the two sizes. How cute. For those looking for new leather bands, Hermès also has a special printed version of their attelage double tour called Animax Bandana. It features a print inspired by another Hermès silk scarf. For Apple Watch Ultra, there's also a new Scoob Ash diving band with circular porthole cutouts, reminiscent of the Rallier band from 2017. It's getting self-referential already. And that was our unboxing of the Apple Watch Hermès 10th Anniversary Edition, as well as a look back at a decade of partnership between Apple and Hermès. As a longtime fan, what really struck me was how much of Hermès iconography and storytelling found its way to the Apple Watch. These straps and faces aren't arbitrary designs. They're rooted in the Maison's equestrian, leather, jewelry, and fashion heritage. That story transforms this modern device into something more meaningful. Which watch strap, watch face, or story do you resonate with the most? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, you know the drill, folks. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we publish new videos. Follow me on social media for all the behind-the-scenes fun, travel, and fashion. And for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.